YSRCP chief and ex-Andhra Chief Minister Jagan Reddy's proposed visit to Tirupati Temple has sparked a row. The TDP and BJP have asked Jagan Reddy to observe customs that are deemed sacrosanct by the resident deity of the Tirumala Tirupati Temple. One of these customs is that while there is no bar from anyone of any faith entering the temple, they must do so only after declaring their faith. Jagan Reddy, as we all know, viewers, is a practicing Christian, but thus far he has visited Tirumala Tirupati at least on 3 occasions without adhering to this age-old custom. Now that he is proposing to visit the temple to, in his own words, wash the sins of Chandrababu Naidu, the state chief minister, for allegedly misleading the deity, the TDP-BJP have demanded that if he is so concerned about the well-being of Lord Venkateshwara, then Jagan must sign the declaration to prove his devotion. This is what the TDP says. A person belonging to another religion, whether it be Christianity or Islam, if they intend to have a darshan of Lord Balaji, then they have to sign declaration stating they have faith in him. We respect all religions, but this is a custom. All these years as Chief Minister, Jagan never signed a declaration. He will have to sign it this time, or he will not be allowed to enter the temple complex, unquote. The rules are quite clear, viewers. Rule number 136 of the TTD regulation states, quote, non-Hindu visitors must voluntarily inform the administration about their religion, declare faith in Lord Sri Venkateshwara and seek special permission to enter the temple, unquote. In the past, these rules have been assiduously followed. In fact, even former President APJ Abdul Kalam and ex-Congress President Sonia Gandhi made these declarations when they visited Tirumala Tirupati Temple. They bowed to the deity's wish and signed the declaration form. In the past, Jagan Reddy has declined from signing the declaration. On June 2012, Jagan Reddy visits but doesn't declare his faith. In March 2014, Jagan Reddy refuses to sign faith declaration at Tirupati, and in September 2020, he also visits the temple but doesn't declare his faith. The question is, if Jagan Reddy says he would never act to undermine the faith of Lord Venkateshwara, why hasn't he respected the wishes of the resident deity? And if he refuses to, will his devotion be considered suspect? Let's ask these questions, viewers. Let's open this up without ado. Satish Reddy, General Secretary of YSRCP, is here with us. Ishkaran Bhandari remains, and so is Sanju Verma. Let me quickly ask you, Mr. Reddy. I have no reasons to believe that Jagan Reddy is not someone who has the best interests of Lord Venkateshwara. I'm sure he has. And I don't know why. I don't want to.
See, I don't know why.
No, let me finish.
No, I don't know.
Are you not going to let me ask my question, sir, please?
Yes, yes.
I indulge you, sir. Please. I indulge your 2 minutes of your time. So I have no doubt that he's a devout person. But I just want to ask you, why hasn't he in the past respected the wishes of the resident deity and signed that register to declare his faith?
No, in the past also, I don't know what, all of you, why you are so much interested in signing the book and all that things, signing the undertaking. Earlier, Sonia Gandhi has visited. Rajshekar Reddy Garu, as Chief Minister, has visited the temple for 5 years. All the 5 years, they were being given that clothes to the deities during Brahmotsavas. Even Jagan Mohan Reddy earlier has given the holy clothes to the deity during the Brahmotsavas. Today, why are you making it a special issue?
No, we are not making it today. It was an issue back then also. It was raised by the BJP back then. You can please look at the accounts. It was raised by the TDP then also, sir. This is nothing new. And it was in fact even raised by the Congress Party, let me tell you. So, Mr. Reddy, I just want to ask you, Sonia Gandhi signed the book and declared herself a Christian. APJ Abdul Kalam signed the book, declared himself a Muslim in that register. I want to ask you, sir, why has Jagan Reddy not done so? Does he not respect?
No, you will see.
One second.
You will see tomorrow. Nobody.
The wishes of the resident deity.
No, nobody has asked till now the families of Rajshekar Reddy, because Rajshekar Reddy was the Chief Minister.
Sir, I'm asking you. I'm asking you. No, one second. Mr. Reddy, there is a clear requirement. I've read the rule to you. Why will Jagan Reddy not adhere to the rule? Is he some special case? Just asking you, sir.
Nothing like that. If the department asks him, if the TTD board asks him to sign it, definitely he will sign it.
But he was asked earlier and he didn't sign
He
it
was
earlier.
not. He was not asked by the TTD board.
Sir, are you
in
telling
fact,
me
the
that...
TTD.
Okay. Are you telling me
In fact,
on
the
oath
TTD
tonight, are you going to
In
put
fact,
your
the
hand on
TTD
your...
had invited him to offer.
Put your hand on your heart and say that in 2014 March, Jagan Reddy was not asked to sign that faith declaration.
Yes,
say
he
that,
was not. He
say
was
that
not.
in
He was not asked.
June
He was
2012,
not asked.
Jagan Reddy visits
was
but
not
doesn't
asked
declare
by
his
anybody.
faith.
He was not asked by anybody to sign the
He
declaration.
was not asked by anybody, viewers.
And he was, I'm telling you, please listen.
Yeah, I'm listening.
And he was invited, and it is a regular affair for them. He and his father have visited Tirumala hundreds of times.
Okay.
This is not the first time.
It's very interesting, viewers,
So after
that they
so many
asked...
times,
One second. It's very interesting that they asked Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. They asked Sonia Gandhi. They've asked countless other Indians. But they haven't asked Jagan Reddy.
yes.
It is strange, isn't it, viewers? Think about that.
Yeah, definitely. If at all the TTD board comes and asks him, definitely he will abide by whatever
Sanju
statutory
Verma,
requirements.
make your point. Yeah.
Okay, very quickly. Rahul, I always believe that the proof is, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Actions speak louder than words. Now, whether Jagan Mohan Reddy signed the faith declaration or not, or that particular register or not, even if we hypothetically say that, he was never asked to sign, so he did not sign. Let us keep that argument aside. Let us look at his track record. He became the chief minister in 2019, and there's this very interesting incident. The story is available in the public domain. He was attending a function at Delaware in the US, and he was supposed to light a diya, a lamp, and he refused to light this diya or lamp, saying that in his Christian faith.
I don't know what you...
Can I please finish? Keep quiet.
No, madam. You're just trying
I did not heckle you. Keep quiet.
Unwanted
Keep quiet.
issue.
Keep
Who has
quiet.
been? No.
Mr. Reddy, let her finish. You can respond. Mr. Reddy, you
What
can...
you wanted to make?
Mr. Reddy,
What is the point that you wanted
Mr.
to
Reddy,
make?
1 second. You
I'm
can...
very
Don't get
confused.
aggressive.
Let
Let her
is not
respond,
fair.
then you can respond. Let her respond,
please, sir.
then you can respond. I'm not going to
No,
stop
1
you
minute,
from
sir.
responding.
No, 1 minute.
No, what do you mean 1
if she
minute?
may-
Let her finish her
Let her
point,
to speak.
please. I will let you speak.
Rahul,
Give me
what kind of
30
a debate is
seconds.
this?
Yes, go ahead. Make your point. Finish your point.
No, Rahul, I need my 1 minute. What do you mean 30 seconds? He's
Go
had a
ahead.
long
Make your
monologue.
point. Make your point.
Thank you. So I repeat, Jagan Mohan Reddy in 2019 refused to light a diya at an event in Delaware in the US simply because lighting a diya he felt was an insult to his Christian faith. Point number 1. Point number 2, there are more than 9,600 temples currently in Andhra Pradesh as we speak. And during Jagan Mohan Reddy's time, this is also documented data. More than 2,500 Hindu temple trusts were either auctioned off at throwaway prices under the pretext that the state government of Andhra Pradesh did not have funds to maintain these temple trusts, or these temple trusts were simply shut down. And point number 3, and this is the most important point which your audience needs to know. The total net worth of the Tirumala Temple Trust is more than 2.25 lakh crore. The annual revenue of the TDD Trust is more than 5,500 crores. The sale of laddus alone makes a profit of more than 600 crores. And still these guys had the audacity to remove Nandini because they said that Nandini is charging us 800 to 1,000 rupees per liter of ghee, and they got in AR Dairy by flouting every norm despite the fact that AR Dairy was not even a profit-making firm, which is what you need to be
That's a slightly different issue, but let's stick to the point. Now, viewers, I've just done a fact check. Now, it's always dangerous to quickly do a fact check like this, but on my phone here, I've done a fact check and it says Jagan Mohan Reddy refuses to light lamp at US event. This is a Financial Express report, viewers, and there are other newspapers that have reported this. BJP calls him anti-Hindu. So it's not as if Sanju Verma is cooking up a fabrication. Now, Jagan Reddy himself said, yes, 1 second. This is just a quick response to Mr. Reddy here on the show. YSRCP said that, you see, it wasn't that. Ambati Rambabu said that it's a basic norm in the US to use electronic lighting instead of manual illumination due to fire safety measures, etc., etc. And all of this is being created by those people who are disgruntled elements. This is what he has said on record on this issue. Ishkaran Bhandari, You see, I want to ask you, because you've done some investigations in this, there is a legal mandate, in fact. Temples are allowed to have various customs, and they have to be enforced by law, isn't it, Ishkan Bhandari?
Absolutely, Rahul, and coming specifically to this case, if there is a rule which is there that you have to declare if you are a non-Hindu, then that rule being flouted once or twice does not mean that rule should not be enforced first. Secondly, why is that rule flouted raises the entire question of who appoints the trustees, who appoints the members of the board. Can the members of the board have the power to even make a request to the chief minister? That raises the third question. Why are temples not under the control of community but under the government? That raises the fourth question, which is what came out in the Laddu issue, that prima facie there is a laboratory report which says in the, forget the administration, it says in the most holy things there is a contamination going on. Now if that laboratory report prima facie is taken to be true, why are arrests not being made is my question. Why is that not leading to an investigation and people behind bars, and to me behind bars in terror sections, because it is the aim to terrorize a devotee that if I am eating prasad, it could be contaminated in the most I don't even want to use that language, in the manner which it has been contaminated. The third aspect of this is that this has to lead to freeing of temples from the administration of government. And lastly, everybody, whether you are a chief minister or the president of India, nobody is above the rules or the traditions of a temple, and if they want to go, they have to comply with it.
Okay. Kamru Chaudhary, do you think Jagan Reddy made a mistake in the past by not complying with the declaration requirement? And let me tell you, for your information, the only time this was waived, this rule was waived, was in 2020. The declaration was waived when Jagan's uncle was the chief of the TTD. So they waived aside a decades-old custom. And the TTD, as you know, sir, doesn't have a right on dictating rituals that are held sacrosanct by the deity itself, because the deity in Indian law is a living being. You know this. Now, I just want to ask you, there are also, of course, customs with regards to Muslim places of worship. And if they can be upheld with great sanctity, then why shouldn't Hindu temples also have the right?
There's a history to it, Rahul.
Okay.
I believe this is not a decade-old rule that has been implemented by the TDT, which was waived out in 2020. I was about to point out to you, but you only said it. That's good. But basically, you see, before the independence of India, during the British era, or when the Mughals invaded India, that rule was made into this cash-rich temples, I will rather put it that way, wherein the invaders do not enter the premises of the temples, loot the property or the wealth that has been stored out there, or the Britishers, mostly conceived to be perceived to be as Christians, from entering the temples. That rule was there. Now in a modern India 2024, why have such type of rules if it does not hurt the asta or the asmita of the temples and its devotees?
Okay.
There should always be a sanctum sanctorum of the religious places of worship. And I don't want to get into any sort of debate. If YSR was mandated
I'll ask you, because on that many people will ask you, Mr. Chaudhary. Yes, he should. I'm glad that you say so, because you say, why should all this be implemented? Of course, why should it be implemented? So I want to ask you, because in Islam, if I'm not mistaken, the halal can only be conducted by a Muslim. Why should that be the case? In modern India, jobs, these are important jobs. So the job of a butcher who's going to conduct a halal, it should be open also to Hindus, Sikhs, every other denomination. Why it should only happen for Muslims, reserved for Muslims?
That's a difference between the Islamic way. You know the soaps, you know, we call it as halal soap. Do you know
so
what
there's
is
a difference between the Islamic way and of course the Hindus.
What is a halal? Question people asked was, what is the meaning of a halal soap? Now I can tell you, you can see the prasad, what happened with the prasadam out there. In a halal soap, no animal fat is used out there.
No, I'm not talking about the soap. I'm talking about the halal process that can only be done, the halal can only be done by a Muslim. Why should this why should this be sanctified, and why shouldn't a custom with regards to the temple have been done away with just because times have changed? How can we have two different applications?
No, Islam is all codified. It's written down, the rules and regulations.
So
Hinduism is
so
a way of life.
So the Hindu faith.
Hinduism is a way of
The Sharia
life.
law of 1957 is not codified.
Okay.
And
This
you
is
can't stop
one
any
second.
lies and
Ishkaran
discrimination.
Bhandari wants to come in.
Sharia law of
One second.
1957 is not codified.
One second. Ishkaran Bhandari on a point of law. On a point of law. And I just want to tell you, viewers, that this particular issue on a point of law, viewers, I've done my homework because I anticipated that this would lead to someone asking this particular, making this particular point.
You're not fact-checking him, Rahul.
Yeah, I have already fact-checked him.
Rahul,
Unfortunately, viewers, one second. The Constitution of India, viewers, says, Article 26B, TDT has the constitutional right to manage its affairs of every temple, viewers.
Within the ambit of the law.
So within the ambit of the law. So if they say that
Yes,
you have to
that is
declare
the
your
most
name, it has to
important
happen.
disclaimer.
There is no codify and no codify and this and that. Yes, very quickly. Yes, very quickly, Mr. Bhandari.
Rahul, Rahul, we saw how Mr. Kamru was pontificating on why the need for such a rule, but the minute you asked him why halal, it is no, it's absolutely separate. Why Muslim personal law? No, it is separate. Yeah. Why halal? No, it is separate. Why waqf by user when you don't have documents? No, it is separate. That is the tragedy which we are living under, because any time you talk about equality, it becomes no, this is separate. Whereas whether it's freedom of speech on Hindu community,
there are double
whether it is
standards,
taking over
viewers.
of temple lands,
I leave it at this.
whether it is denial of right.
I leave it at this.